Hello, I'm David Kerr, and welcome to In the Know, the program that takes you to the interesting spots in our own area that are some quirky, some serious, some that you would never expect to see in your own backyard. And today we're in just one of those places that fits that criteria. It's called Evolution Motorsport. And this isn't a garage like you take your car to. This is a special high-performance engineering operation that deals with race cars, high-performance engines, Corvettes. It's an amazing operation. It has a device called they simply call it the dyno, which measures horsepower, and it's just an extraordinary field of technology and expertise. And right now I'm standing next to one of their major projects, which is a restoration. It's a 1965 Cobra. It's being restored completely. It's called a kit car, and it's probably one of the prettiest things in the shop right now, but we're going to look at some high-performance aspects of what they do, and if you like cars, or if you're even interested in cars, you're going to like this program. Evolution Motorsport is about cars, it's about technology, but it isn't anything without the people behind it. It's all about the personnel, the individuals who actually work on your car, who get the most out of it, who do the restoration, and we're here with the two principals at Evolution Motorsport who make it all happen. These are the men you'll talk to when you bring your car in. These are the men who will see what actually out with the vehicles, testing them, and we're going to talk to them a little bit about what they do and my biggest question is, how'd you get into this business? It's so unique.
So I started out in the military in the early 90s. And
which branch of service?
Air Force. And among my travels, I moved to Japan, and I had never owned a car until I was 26, but always worked on them. And I was in Japan, and I found a Corvette that got wrecked. And so, over a course of 2 years, me and a really a good guy helped me build it so I could bring it back to the States. And I started building cars at that time. I built two 69 Mach 1s. That 1991 Corvette, all of them in Japan, and drove them around, raced them, and then I moved back to the States after 9/11 and changed career fields altogether and stopped doing it for about a year, 2 years. Since that time, I stayed in the military and then got out and went in federal service. Still building cars, building Corvettes for all my friends and all this and that in my garage. So I built my house to fit that lifestyle. So I built a big garage to fit that lifestyle.
Complete with the elevators?
My four-post lift was in the garage. Actually, my garage...
Serious car guy.
Right. My house was built around the garage. My toolboxes were all built for what I do. My military profession was aircraft maintenance. I did aircraft maintenance for still today, 24 years. And you carry a lot of that in what you do. Everything you see here today is derived from my experience in the military. How we deal with our tools, how we do our inspections, how we document everything, how we deal with our customers, how we deal with anything we do down to the very floor you see below you was derived from what I learned in the military.
And this is the quickest garage floor I've ever seen in my life.
We like to think so. Kevin and I laid it down. It was beautiful. But then it was, oh my God, how do we keep it clean? And I have to keep it clean. As I said, everything you derive from the military, we weren't allowed to leave it dirty in the military. Anything on the floor is a safety hazard. So you have to wipe everything up. So I'm always on Kevin, hey, we need to keep it clean, keep it clean. So I always get the razzing from we should have different color.
It's a full-time job in itself.
So I decided to leave federal service. And I had the choice of either going to another business or doing something else. And I had some experience in owning a business, and I wanted to do what I wanted to do. If I wasn't going to do it, if I was going to do it, I was going to do it now. So I took my 401k, put every diamond in the shop, and started really networking all the cars and stuff I did for customers before, and said, hey, I'm doing my own shop. At their request. A lot of people I work cars for were saying, why don't you own your own shop? This is what you need to be doing. You have a talent. Well, I appreciate that. It's not easy for people to hear that. I'm sure he doesn't like hearing that either. But it really was something true.
Well, now, I was talking to Kevin before the show, and he was telling me a little about his career coming to work for you and coming to work for Evolution Motorsport, and it was an interesting story. It was about a man who, in my opinion, this is how I'd summarize it, a man who had a calling, who was looking for somebody to answer that call. And that's sort of what happened here. And
really, it was funny. And yes, he told you about... So I needed to find what kind of personnel were in this area. So I decided to build my shop down here because of Dominion Raceway. We are always in contact with Bill. We do the inspections for the race cars that request it. So my goal was to be close to the raceway. And so I wanted to see what kind of people that were in this area before I moved my shop down here. So I decided to put an ad into Craigslist, and I got about 50 responses. And within that response, something jumped out at me about Kevin. So I went to his Facebook, and he had a Mohawk, and he was in a car that he built himself, that he raced, and he had that vibe that I wanted in my shop.
That can-do, really into it.
The
real energy.
That if somebody's not going to, no one does it for me, I do it myself, and this is what I have. And I don't care what you think I look like. I don't care what your opinions of me. I do good work. I race what I do. I race what I have, and here I am. And it really jumped out at me.
Well, you guys spend a lot of time together.
Oh, a whole lot.
Oh, yeah?
Probably 12 hours a day at least.
At least.
But how's the chemistry? Because this is such a unique...
Well, it's funny because when I hired him, I went to his place of business, and I told him that, I said, if you want to come work for me, we're doing it tomorrow. And he told tell that story.
I had been waiting to hear back from him after sending my resume. One day I got a text message. Hey, are you at work? And I said, yep. He said, I'm in the parking lot. I come out to the parking lot. We talked about what he wanted to do, what his vision for the shop was. Talked about how I had basically the same vision for a shop on my own, but was unable to do it by myself. And he said, all right, you're on. Start tomorrow. I walked into my 40-hour-a-week job, full-time, full benefits, everything. Said, hey guys, my dream's calling. I got to go. I won't be here tomorrow.
That's, the most important thing in life is sometimes answering the dream.
Yeah, and so we built this shop 2 o'clock in the morning. We built the shop.
Well, we're going to see more of this shop because it is a big story with a lot to show us. And we'll be right back after just a short break.